Welcome one and all to another exciting edition of Transformers Reviews. Well everybody, today we are taking a look at Legacy Breakdown. And one thing that I have to contribute to our boy is the fact that he does something that I kind of wish other Transformers would do a little bit more regularly. And that's the fact that his weapon storage, as you can see as we spun all around his alt mode, it's not blaringly obvious. It just poof, just disappears. And I absolutely love that. Now, certain ones I'll amend the rule for. But what I didn't know was, whenever I bought Wild Rider, they'd already done the pre-tooling for Breakdown ahead of time, because you can see where his weapon storage is. They already had it on this boy right here. Now, speaking of our boy, he's one that I do make the exception for, because again, his personality is just a total nutbag, and having guns mounted on his car mode kind of makes sense for this dude. But the one thing that people draw contention with in regards to Wild Rider is the fact that the majority of this mold for Breakdown is carried over instead of being more in line with what you would see here on Sunstreaker. Now, basically like I just said, the front end of the car, that's a straight carryover, and the back end of it is more modeled on what you would see with Sunstreaker, or more accurately, what you see here with the previous mold. Albeit this is the Tigertron version. But again, some people don't like the fact it's a hybrid. How do I personally feel about it? Let me tell you, Breakdown is my favorite Stunticon. And I'll be honest with you, I don't mind the fact that it's unique on its own. I like the fact that it's different. How many of you just unsubscribed? Well, hey bro, if you want to be immature like that, you do you. We'll see you. Anyway, for those of you that can accept a different opinion and have the maturity to do so, I'm glad you're still here. Anyway, in looking at our boy, I think that I love the details that are traditionally Breakdown. The fact that he's got the blue stripe, the nicely painted rims, except for, you know, the back deal, minor nitpick. Plus the fact that he's got the red spot there on the front with the fancy Decepticon emblem, and the fact that our boy is a crispy white. You know I like those type of boys. However, as fancy as he is, how does he fit in with the whole Stunticon posse? So up until now, only having 4 of the boys, it just felt a little bit off. And now Breakdown has come in to play his part. All 5 of the guys together look fantastic. But yeah, definitely it's nice to kind of see this little subset finally come to completion. And again, that's all thanks to our boy Breakdown finally showing up. So everybody, before we take a look at Breakdown and all his individual features that are awesome, I do have to say that all together, the Stunticons, as much in robot mode as they did in vehicle mode, they still look awesome here. And so with this Decepticon squad looking as amazing as they do, it kind of makes me hope that when they do Superion eventually, that they make it look just as awesome. And nothing would give me greater pleasure than for the aerial bots to blow the Stunticons out of the water. So in order to appreciate what is unique on Breakdown, we kind of have to look at what is similar on Wild Rider in robot mode. Now, the fronts of the legs and even the upper thighs up here and the crotch piece, that's all the same. It's only when you get to the waist that the detailing is different. Now, obviously, this midsection right here, that's the same, but once you get to the chest, you can see the differences there, and then obviously the heads being as different as they are, which I've always liked Breakdown's red face. He's got some excellent yellow paint there for his eyes. And the only other thing that really is different is what we saw earlier in vehicle mode, which as you can see, again, is just the difference in the molding there. However, this boy being part of the Evo line, despite him being in regular Legacy packaging, is that his pieces can combine into some new weapon, which personally I think a blaster, one by itself, that would be deadly enough, but apparently you're supposed to take his blaster, plug it in like that, and then take his spoiler. And I'm not gonna lie, I do kind of like the idea of him having some sort of machete weapon. And if you guys saw the video, we showed these pictures right here where he's squaring off and unfortunately getting wrecked by Road Rocket with her standing triumphant. you know what, he plays the part ever so well. But the weird thing is, whenever you're just using him with his blaster, you know, they show him holding this, but I think that kind of looks dumb, and there's not really a place to kind of peg it and hide it away. I mean, so it's kind of like you just kind of have to set that off to the side. So as we can see here, we have a little bit of a brouhaha going on between the Stunticons and the Autobots. And as we pan down on our boy, we can see that he is holding off Sunstreaker rather well, using his machete weapon, getting ready to scratch Sunstreaker's finish. So as interesting and as fun as this battle scene looks, we know what the Stunticons ultimately will do when they start losing the fight.
Stunticons unite to form Menasor!
So even though we pretty much know what he's going to look like, I think our brain was not going to let it go until we actually had all 5 pieces. All these guys, in my mind, either scored 95% or higher, and with how awesome Menasor looks, I think it's just making us more anxious for somebody to balance out the shelf now, because he's looking pretty sick. And of course, our big boy looks awesome in his scenes where basically all 5 Autobots are just opening full fire on him as he's getting ready to blast and slice, as Menasor does ever so well. So if you guys did watch that video that I mentioned, you will actually find out the other folks that we picked up. Somebody with a Decepticon face, a certain white lion, among others. The one that we probably won't do a review of is Road Rocket, although in my opinion she's one of the best of those 5 that I picked up, if not the best. And I was surprised how well that RC mold works when it's used for somebody else. So there you go, that's your review for Road Rocket, I guess. Other than that, like I said before, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and we'll see you in the next one.